I am obsessed. Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Hello if you're new here, my name is Shanti and it's a new year and it's 2025. So if you don't know how to do your makeup or get the best soft glam look, listen up because class is in session. I'm going to teach you how to do a flawless soft glam beat for this year. So a full glam is never going to look good on unclean skin, so you want to make sure that you wash your face first. I have done a lot of my skin prep already. I'm just going to add in a bit of my moisturizer. If you do want to know more about my skin prep, I do have skincare videos. This is generally what I do before I do my makeup look, because hydrated skin just gives you the best outcome for your makeup. So to start with, I'm going in with my Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow primer. And again, primers just really help with the longevity of makeup and it lasting a lot longer throughout the day. So I just go in with a generous amount, not too much, and I just put it all over the places that will have makeup. So I also do my eyelids as well. It's always good to allow the primer just to like dry down just for a couple of seconds before you go in with your foundation. I'm gonna go in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. I tend to use this tone more when it's like the winter seasons and my undertone just is a bit more cooler. I feel like this really works for me a lot more. Just to balance the undertone of it, I'm gonna also go in with my Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation. Cool. I mean, the rest of the product I will just pick up on the back of my hand, but look at, you see how it just gives such a great shade. This is what I love about combining makeup products together, is that I feel like I get my perfect shade. Just balance out the color, so I just blend that in. And with makeup brushes, I always use the Real Technique brushes. They just work like a real wonder for me. Whenever you're doing your makeup, is to always have a clean brush to start with. It's just going to make the application a lot more seamless and the products just to blend well on your skin. So you always want to make sure that you have clean brushes. So now that it's fully blended out, I'm gonna go in my first concealer. So this is a L'Oreal concealer. It's the Infallible 24-hour wear concealer, and the shade I use is Honey. So I just take some of the product and put it in the corner of my eye. And the reason why I put it in the corner of my eye is because you can build the product outwards. I'm going to put just some down the bridge of my nose and also the center of my forehead, and just a little bit on my cupid's bow. Whenever I do my first concealer, I always let it dry down just for a little bit, just because it helps with coverage and you can really guide the concealer in the places that you want it to. If it's blended out straight away, the application might be very sparse across your face. So we're trying to be very specific with our application. So it's always good to let it dry down. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go in with my bronzer. This bronzer I love so much. It's just been such a staple in my makeup routine. It's the Sleek Damn bronzer. So I'm just gonna use it to warm up my face and provide definition. So these are the points that I follow. I go on the very top of my cheekbones, and I don't bring it any further down because you want to allow the blush to do all of that work. But you see how we've already started to make shadows and create definition. Just do a little bit on the bottom of my chin. So now that that has had a bit of time to dry down, I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender. I've used this side, so I'm just gonna use the other side just to give myself that seamless application, and I will just blend this out. So after I've gone in with my first concealer, I'm gonna go in with my second one, which is Huda Beauty. So this is in the shade Brittle. I'm literally just gonna take this in the inner corners of my eye, and then I'm gonna blend this out straight away. Any excess I'll just bring to the sides of my cheekbone just to create more definition. Once it is fully blended out, I'm gonna go in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. This is probably my favorite translucent powders ever, and I go in with this triangular powder puff, and I also just try and stretch my under eye so that it prevents any creases. I go like, you know, like that, just to prevent any severe creasing, and I will just set the concealer. And if by the time you are ready to set this eye and it started creasing, you can literally just go in and do like a quick blend before you set it. And again, I just take up some of the powder and set this under eye. Any excess I'll just take on the other areas that I have set as well, and then I'll bring some in the center of my forehead as well. Cool, so now that that's done, I'm gonna go back in with my bronzer and just tap off some of the excess onto the back of my hand, just to control and just to blend out the places that the concealer may have spread. And it just adds a bit more control and structure back into the face. I go very lightly on here, by the way, because you want to really focus on the blush. And then I just take some of the excess onto the chin and then follow it underneath my jawline, so that you can have that really like snatched look. So because I want this look to be a bit snatched, I'm going to take some of the setting powder and just bring it underneath my jawline, just like that. My cheekbone, sorry, just like that. And I'll do the same for the other side. This is an optional step, you don't have to do this, but if you just want to get more of a snatched look, then this is something that you can do just to elevate your makeup just that bit further. Sorry, my lips are getting a bit dry, so I'm just going to go with my lip salve just to hydrate my lip. You can also do this at the start as well to prep your lip. I did have a bit of Vaseline, but I think some of the setting powder got onto my lip and started to feel a bit dry. So yeah, just have that on ready. Now I'm going to be going in with my blush. I'll try to show you the blush color. It's this beautiful, really gorgeous shade of pink, and I'm just going to show you guys where I tend to place my blush and where I like to focus it. So I like to start near the corner of my eye and then bring it just under just a bit underneath my eye. Again, I like to go in with a bit of like a circular motion, just to give me that control when it comes to placement. You can also like bring it up a bit further, but I just like how it looks when just a bit of the blush is underneath my eye where I would have put the concealer. And obviously build as much as this product as you see fit for your makeup, but I'm going for a really like girly kind of soft glam look, and with soft glam looks they tend to focus on a lot of pinkier shades, so that's why I'm putting a lot of effort and emphasis into that. You can also use a liquid blush. I sometimes use this NARS liquid blush, but I'm just going to go in with the powders today, and I just repeat that on that side as you can see the difference. So you can literally see how it's already like elevated this makeup look so much and supported like the structure of my face, and this is why I just love using a really gorgeous blush. I'm gonna take just a little bit on the tip of my nose just to give it that flushed look. You just have to go in with just a tiny amount, but it just adds to that kind of flushed look, and then use the excess to go down the bridge of your nose to add towards like the highlighted look. Then with my bronzer, I'm gonna lightly contour my nose. So whenever you start your contour, you always want to go from the inner corner of your eyebrow and lightly bring it down, and then repeat the same on the other side. And then just take a little bit on the end of the nose as well. Now that we've allowed the setting powder just to set a bit, you're just going to brush that away very gently whilst blending it out so that it doesn't give any harsh lines, but just a subtle kind of snatched look for the side. Do the same over here. So now that everything is like nice and blended in, I'm loving how this is looking. It's giving very flawless. Now it's time to just fill in my eyebrows. So fortunate enough, praise be to God, he has blessed me with eyebrows that I don't have to do too much with. So I always like to comb it. This is from the Real Technique brush collection as well. So I always like to comb. I'm gonna try and zoom in for you guys. So I like to comb my eyebrows up, and then something that I've just realized whenever with any pencil that I use, it's just always better for it to be sharp. So I did sharpen this, and I prefer to go in with my eyebrows with an eyebrow pencil. So I'm just going to fill in any sparse gaps. So I always like to start with the bottom, because that's where I tend to feel like there are both sparse gaps in my eyebrows, and just make any fake strokes going up. Again, I just follow the tail bit of my eyebrow as well, and then at the top here, and then gently, very gently, I like to add in a bit of a line at the top just to create more of a squarer shape at the beginning of my eyebrow. Again, I just go in a little bit more on the bottom. You can use an eyebrow pen, you can use a pencil, it's completely your preference. I've just been using pencils for years and it's just worked with my eyebrows, and it's just giving them more of a natural look, which I prefer. Like, I like to look like I haven't done too much. So this is kind of my favorite eyebrow, so I always try to get this eyebrow to look like that eyebrow. So I will brush this up a bit more and then do the same. Cool, so now that I'm happy with my eyebrows, I'm literally just gonna leave it like that. I'm not the biggest fan of putting concealer underneath my eyebrows. If anything, I would just use a little bit of highlight or eyeshadow just to make it stand out a bit more. So now I'm going to do my eyeshadow, which is very, 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 very simple, very, very neutral shades. So you can probably see which one is my favorite shade. I like to go in with this, with a combination of this and this as well. With this shade, which is kind of like a golden brown, I will just start on the base of my lid as a base. Because it's quite similar to the colour of my concealer, I will just go in with this as a base. And with eyeshadows, I literally don't do a lot when it comes to eyeshadows, because I don't feel like I'm the greatest at creating eye looks, but I will do my best. So yeah, just create it as like a nice soft base, and then I go in with this lighter shade up here. It's like a beigey colour, and I just use that for the inner corner. This just adds just really nice like enhancement. It looks like you're doing something when you're not really doing that much. So again, I'll just bring this in the inner corner, and then with this deeper brown shade, I'm just gonna go on the outer corner of my eye with it, just to tie in the colors better together. Cool. And then with a bit of the lighter eyeshadow, again, I'm just going to take it underneath my eyebrow with the lightest one that I used. And I just think this just gives me more of a natural look when it comes to my brows, as opposed to using concealer. But cool. Now that my eyeshadow is done, nice, gorgeous, very neutral, I am going to go in with some individuals. These are probably my favorite thing to do whenever it comes to creating a lash look for me. I feel like I can really design a shape that works for my eyes. So that's what we're going to be doing today. These are very, very easy to apply. Usually it's a lot easier to do before you've done your makeup, but I just love the fresh look it gives me like after I've done the makeup. So yeah, any order is fine. Yeah, so I'll take the glue and work it towards the end of my lashes, and then with my tweezers I will start with the application. I'm going to go in with some 14s for the ends. Then I'm going to go in with a 13 probably gonna do another 13 because I realized I've run out of 12s. And then for the inner corner, I'm just gonna do an 11. Cool. And then I'm just going to repeat the same thing on this side, on that side as well. Cool. So now that the lashes are on, I'm going to use the locking side, which just locks in the lash so you can have a good amount of retention. Okay, so now for the lip combination, I'm gonna go in with my Rimmel pencil. This is the shade Brownie Pie. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in my lip liner and I'll just start to line my lips. So now that I've got a nice line to my lip, I'm gonna go in with this pink shade. This is Eclair from NYX. So this is the shade I'm gonna go in with first. I'm just gonna dab this. Dab and rub. I'm gonna go in with this icy gloss. This is from the Maybelline Lifter Gloss collection. I'm trying to think out what shade this is. This is shade Ice, and I think this is such a nice like finisher, like topper gloss to put on top of your main lip gloss. Stunning. I love how this is looking. This Glam is so good. Cool. Then to set the makeup, I'm gonna go in with this dewy finish satin setting spray. I forgot what it's called then. Cool. And I just let that sit on my skin and then dry it. This has turned into such a favorite for me. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Setting Spray Mist, and I'm just gonna go all over my face with it. Whew. When I tell you, your makeup will not. And then just to add a bit of boom, I'm just gonna go in with some mascara for my bottom lashes. Not too much, just a little bit of. Cool. And this is the finished look. I hope you guys like it. I'm gonna zoom back out. I feel like every year I'm always like upgrading my makeup, and this just looks sensational. This Glam is truly one of one. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this makeup tutorial of how to get this kind of, you can even do this on an everyday kind of thing, like an easy everyday self glam kind of look. And I hope it was helpful in terms of application and ways you can apply your makeup to give you more of a flawless and effortless look. But with that being said, don't forget to subscribe, drop a comment down below. Thank you for sticking with me in today's makeup tutorial. I hope you love it just as much as I do, and I will see you in my next video.